How's it going, Ram fans? Welcome back to another edition of CTV Sports. I'm Mike Walsh.
Super stoked to be on desk tonight. I'm Hunter Strand. Here's what we've got on tap for you tonight.
Track spent the weekend on the road while softball loses their doubleheader to Arkansas.
We take a look at the new Rams basketball roster and what we can expect from both the men's and women's side.
Plus, all things NBA playoffs and the NFL draft happening in just a few days.
All that and more right here on CTV Sports, which starts right now.
After a long 4 days competing in different states, CSU track and field put up some incredible performances, with one athlete being the star of the night. And you've heard her name before as she just continues to break records. First breaking the indoor pole vault program record just a few weeks ago, Maria Kimson did it again, claiming the outdoor program record with an incredible 4.3 meter jump, good for 14 feet 1.25 inches, while also taking first place at the Long Beach Invitational. So while Kimson may have just laid her claim for the greatest CSU pole vault ever, at least in my opinion, there were of course some other key performers for the green and gold this past weekend. One of the usual suspects on these leaderboards was back on top as Maya Lesnar took the win in shot put with an impressive throw of 18.44 meters. And after Lesnar, the only other first place finish was freshman Travis Turner with his win in the 400, running a 46.85, just shy of his personal best. So some winning storylines for the Rams this past weekend as they continue to prepare for the outdoor championships in a few weeks. However, before they compete for the conference title, the Rams host two meets here at the Jack Christensen track, first with the Border War duel against Wyoming this Saturday.
Colorado State softball fell to Arkansas Razorbacks in two non-conference games. Afternoon, Rutherford drove in English to get the Rams on the board in the top of the third inning. Colorado State ended up falling to the Razorbacks 14-1. Game 2 started off better with Janelle Bentley shutting down the Razorbacks in the first two innings before giving up a run in the third. The Rams struggled the rest of the game, only having 5 hits and ended up losing 8-0 in 5 innings onto golf.
At the Mountain West Championships this past weekend, women's golf put on one of their best performances of the season, finishing 4th overall with a score of plus 28, being led by their star, Cara Canisiero. Canisiero led the team with her 5th place individual finish, also good for her 5th top 10 finish of the season, with a score of plus 3 that totaled 8 birdies on the weekend. And just behind her was Katie Stinchcomb, who finished in 14th place at plus 9, as Stinchcomb had a crucial last round, shooting plus 1, bringing herself into the top 15. So the women finished 4th in the conference and now look ahead to the NCAA regionals. But while Canisiero, Stinchcomb, and the crew played this past weekend, the men's golf team was competing in the Robert Kepler Invitational. The Rams had one last chance to get their swings right before their Mountain West Championships this weekend. And while we may not know if the swings were perfect, we know the team finished in 9th place out of 13 teams, with an overall score of plus 60. And Christoph Bleer led the team with his 27th place finish and plus 13 score, as just behind him was Jay Pobbin and Jake Rogers, who both tied for 30th place at plus 14. So unfortunately, no top 25 finishes for the Rams, but as I said, the team has the conference championships this weekend, so this less than ideal result is not that big of a deal. And while you may think we are done with golf after this story, we actually have some more golf talk still to come, so make sure to stick around. But for now, let's do a quick update on the teams out of season right now.
And like Mike said, both these teams are out of season, so we'll keep it quick. First, looking at the men's side, Alice and his staff have been busy.
Yeah, for sure. Bringing in 3 new transfers while also retaining a good portion of their bench group from this past season. And looking at the numbers, these guys could put in some huge minutes for the Rams next season. Starting with Brandon Rechsteiner from Virginia Tech. I know this guy's averaging a lot of points.
Yeah.
He's not averaging a lot of points, but he had some big games for the team last year. He also had 91 assists for Virginia Tech last year. These other guys also look pretty good. Kind of guys you haven't heard a lot from. Javen Nunez from FGCU played a lot of games. He played 4 years at FGCU. A lot of basketball play between these 3 guys. I think they're going to look good for the team.
Yeah, a lot of experience with these guys coming from Power 4 schools.
That's big.
Yeah.
The Power Conference schools help because they're playing against a different level of competition.
Right,
I know CSU got some game against not so great teams, whereas these guys are always playing top level teams.
Yeah, these guys will be definitely a big factor. Yeah, Mike, those guys are all great.
They are.
But it really is going to be a test for Ollie and his new staff to try and mesh the new with the old.
I agree. And continuing on with these CSU basketball programs, the women's team got their 2nd Power Conference transfer in 2 years, bringing in Lexis Bargesser from Indiana. Another player from Power Conference School, obviously, we had Emma Ronzing from Creighton last year, played at Indiana, played 90 games.
Yeah,
just a lot of experience from her with those Big Ten teams. And as you see there, 3 tourneys made.
Yeah.
They also made, I think, a Sweet 16 appearance in one of those 3 tourneys. So just a lot of veteran experience. It's almost like Ethan Morton, who came from Purdue last year for the men's team. So, I mean, those 3 NCAA tourney appearances stand out to me. But I think Lexus has a lot to prove just with an increased role. I don't think she had much of a role at Indiana. But with Ryan Williams' offense, she'll be good.
Yeah, for sure. But all Ram fans will just have to wait and see how all these transfers shake out. As the women's and men's season are quite a while away.
They are.
But for now, we're going to take a quick break.
But stick around, because when we come back, we'll discuss all things happening around professional sports and their championships, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome to CTV, the student-run TV station here on campus. With 3 shows a week, we have a lot going on, but don't just take my word for it. Prefer exciting sports over the boring news? Join us at Tuesday Night Sports for some private athlete coverage, interviews, and some live game updates. We'll see you then.
And on Wednesdays, that's when things get really entertaining. Whether you're hiking out in nature, rocking with a local band, or hosting your own game show, the possibilities are endless.
As Northern Colorado's only broadcast news station, our news team is dedicated to bringing you in-depth and accurate reporting every Thursday.
If you prefer working behind the scenes, Studio Room may be the place for you. You can operate cams, a switchboard, or direct your own show. And it makes you look really cool.
And that's really only scratching the surface. Come work with an award-winning TV station
Here at CTV.
With the most important major in golf already out of the way, it's getting closer to the rest of the majors starting up. Although Rory McIlroy is known for his choking and had to go to a one-hole playoff to beat the veteran Justin Rose, he was able to make golf history. Rory did it by being the 6th golfer ever to complete the Grand Slam of winning every major golf tournament in his career. With the PGA Tour around the corner, on May 15th, I have some early predictions on who I think will be playing their best golf. If it wasn't for 1 or 2 bad mistakes, both Ludwig Aberg and Bryson DeChambeau could have been fighting for that Masters win not long ago, and I think they will both continue playing great golf. Although it's tough to go against Scottie Scheffler, I think it's even tougher to go against the way Rory McIlroy is playing right now, especially with all of the weight of winning the Masters off of his shoulders and being able to swing freely. Mike, Hunter, what do you guys think?
I watched this entire Masters.
Me too.
And it was a really good one. Really happy for Rory. I know, it feels like we're almost just making fun of him.
Right.
At this point, we're just kind of making fun of him. He's always losing in these big moments, but I felt really good for him, and he looked super happy when he won.
Career Grand Slam. This is the tournament he wanted to win his whole career, and just to get that.
And it's been a while since he won a major, so I get where everyone's making fun of him for it, but it's like, come on. I mean, he did it. He did the Grand Slam. We got to just take recognition for it.
Yeah, but I think Scottie Scheffler will turn it around May 15th. And probably
I also kind of agree that Rory, I don't know if he'll perform as well as he had in the Masters, just because, I don't know, I feel like he's going in other tournaments. He was only locked in the Masters. I feel like, I don't know, AJ, you're saying he's going to do good in these other majors? I don't know.
I think he has a shot at all 4, honestly.
Okay.
I think nobody's ever done it before, but I think with the way he's playing right now, he could win all 4.
Yeah,
this is the guy that was
he finally broke the curse.
Yeah.
Why can't he do it?
This is one guy away that his playoff, he looks one shot away.
And also, he had the lead, and he choked that lead. Like, he could have went to that day, just performed well, and then taken the Masters. But he had to make it interesting, choke a lead, go +2 on the first hole.
Yeah. Had a 2-shot lead going into hole 1 and already away.
Yeah.
So.
It's all right, though. I think we got to move on from golf.
Oh yeah,
NBA
is up, baby.
Let's go to the NBA.
The playoffs are now underway in the NBA, and this past Saturday, every series played their first of the possible 7 games.
Yeah, Hunter. And before we discuss our home team, the Nuggets, let's take a look at all of those game ones. I think easily the best one was the Nuggets, so we'll leave it out here. We'll talk about the other ones. Thunder obviously dominated.
15-1.
Timberwolves, I think, a surprise at home against LA.
Blowing them out by 20.
With the domination. Warriors, what would you say? A surprise there?
I wouldn't say a surprise.
Okay.
I think you have a young Houston team. It's
Yeah.
their first ever playoff game at home. Historically, the Warriors have owned them back in the James Harden and Curry days.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say a surprise. I think they'll win game 2 tomorrow.
Right,
though.
and then they also, the Bucks game, I mean, that was...
Without Dame, I mean, there's not much there.
There was a lot of hype building for Giannis. And then he
Definitely,
came into that game, and he played all right, just the team didn't show up. So it's a little unfortunate.
He needs a lot of help.
Yeah.
They got to bring in some guys.
But I think we got to talk about the best game.
Oh, of course, the Nuggets, yeah. And the hometown team, Nuggets, played Game 2 last night against the Clippers. They are now tied 1-1 in the series after losing to a close game to the Clippers, 105-102.
Yeah.
Another close game. We just saw they won 112, 110.
That one was tough, but the first one was better. Obviously,
Yeah.
with that Russell Westbrook clutch 3. I mean,
I hate this man wide open.
I
It's
hate to say
crazy.
that you're relying on Russell Westbrook, but him making that was cool. I mean, just the team rallying for that 15-point comeback in Game 1 was awesome. This one, not so much. Not so much. It just felt like in those...
Why are you not calling a timeout here?
It just felt like in those last moments, there were so many better options than Christian Brown doing that, and then Jokic throwing up whatever this is. I mean, they hit the same spot on the backboard, and they're coming from different sides of the court. That's never good. That's never good for any team. The Nuggets need something to go way differently for them in these next few games, because they were at home. They were in Denver, and they let the Clippers steal one. They're going to need to have a lot of other big games.
Yeah.
But now we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere just yet. When we come back, we will give an update on all the favorites for our brackets and, of course, our takes on the NBA awards.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up 1 finger if you're a man, women 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Break Rams into a full-fledged NBA block. First, we have to take a look at the current bracket and give our picks. So, AJ, what are we thinking?
I don't know. Looking at the bracket, I have to go with the Warriors. I think they've been playing such great ball right now. Nobody talks about the role players, Moses Moody, Brendan Podjemski. I think they've got the DPO line, Draymond Green.
We'll talk about that later.
Curry and Butler. I mean, they're on the scene, #1 defense since they got Jimmy. So
and they've been playing amazing since they got Jimmy, like we said. Just their stats overall look really good. So, I mean, who are you going out of the East, though?
Celtics. I think I got to go Celtics.
And they're dominating? You're
Yeah,
not really saying
I think the
they're
Knicks
challenged?
could give them a shot.
Okay.
I think the Knicks could definitely give them a shot with Karl Anthony Towns at center now. But I think the Celtics will win in
All right, Hunter, what do you
I
think?
actually got the Celtics winning it all here.
Okay.
I think they're going to play the T-Wolves. The T-Wolves scare me, man.
Yeah.
I mean, as a Nuggets fan, those guys just turn it up at different levels for the playoffs. Already took one in
very
LA,
true.
won by 20.
Yeah.
But
in LA is what's
in
huge
LA
for
is
that.
crazy, yeah.
But so you're going T-Wolves?
T-Wolves and Celtics to play, and then I think the Celtics probably take it in 5 or 6.
No, I mean,
Just
I like
dominant
it.
run.
I like all these picks, but if I could say that bracket one more time up on the TV, then I can kind of tell you my issues. My issues only lie with the fact that the Thunder are dominating in the West. I think it's apparent by looking at these games against the Grizzlies. I know the Grizzlies aren't the best team, but they're dominating the Grizzlies. It makes me feel like they're going to beat everyone else. Even if it's not as convincing as these wins over the Grizzlies, they're still going to beat everyone else. But I have to agree. The Celtics are the powerhouse in the East. I want to say the Cavs, who are the #1 seed, they have all these stats. It just doesn't feel like it's enough to beat the defending champs that brought back pretty much everyone.
And you think back to last year, I mean, they had Drew Holiday hitting big shots in the finals.
Yep.
So
They have
if they have everyone hitting shots, how are they going to lose?
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think that's enough about the games and the teams. I think the more interesting topic, I think it's time to get in the awards.
Yeah.
I think some of these are pretty obvious. I know we may have some disagreements in a few spots. I know you have a disagreement with someone that wasn't your favorite. It's all right. It's all right. We'll keep moving.
Yeah, Mike, I think these first two are pretty much locks, though, starting
Yeah.
with the Rookie of the Year from San Antonio and UConn, Stephon Castle.
Yeah.
He was pretty good this year.
Averaging 14.7, led rookies in scoring. Obviously, there was a Jerry McCain who was leading. He was leading that Rookie of the Year
But
charge.
I won it, man.
But Stephen Castle took over once he went down. I don't think anyone's really competed with him since then.
Definitely not.
No, it could have been McCain. He was on fire when he went
Yep.
down.
Yeah.
But Castle's just, I mean, he's so durable. He's such a great defender.
Right.
He's really, I think he's going to be good in the
And
future.
there were other players on kind of bad teams like Castle, like Klingon from UConn.
Yeah,
I mean, he was also
Klingon.
really good for the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
It just, the whole year after McCain went out, it felt like Castle. And it never, Alex Sarr, I guess, he was in there, but he was so bad at the beginning of the year that he couldn't come back by the end of the year.
And Zach Eady
Yeah,
also,
true,
he
true.
played well for the
And he's on
Grizzlies.
a playoff team, so that's where it's hard. Like, he's definitely going to get less touches on that team, whereas Stephen Castle on a team that, once they shut down Wemby, they're tanking. So Stephen Castle can do whatever he wants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Defensive Player of the Year, I think this one's pretty obvious since when Wemby went down, Evan Mobley.
Yeah, I think we were all in agreement that it was Wemby.
Yeah,
But
easily.
yeah.
And we're both saying Mobley. You're saying
I'm saying Draymond.
Draymond,
I think
okay.
it should have been Draymond, honestly, with the way he's been.
Draymond put
He's
up
so
18 tonight?
underrated for what he does with the Warriors.
Oh, we're talking about defense.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
talking about
defense. Sorry,
Yeah.
defense here. But
What
yes.
he does for them, the assists, though, I mean, Mobley doesn't really run the offense, kind of like Draymond can. I
Right.
mean, he kind of sets up
Right,
their
again,
whole-
guys, we're talking about defense. Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay,
I'm just saying, I don't have the offensive.
Okay,
argument.
okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. But I think as far as a do-it-all, I
Yeah.
would take Draymond. And his defense, I mean, I just think he's so underrated in
Yeah.
the Warriors dynasty.
No, I agree, and I think he got his flowers at the time. He obviously won those Defensive Player of the Years back when the Warriors were kind of going through those championships. I just think it has to be Mobley's turn. I hate using that argument where someone's already won it, but also I think Mobley has put up better stats. At least this year, just on the number one seed. It's hard for me to say that the defensive anchor of the number one seed isn't the Defensive Player of the Year. It would have been Wemby. I hate to say it. It would have been Wemby. It's sad to say that he couldn't win it, but I got to go Mobley here.
Every year he's in the league, it's probably going to be Wemby.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he led the league in blocks, and he went down with 40 games to go.
Insane, yeah.
It
The only
just
reason he's
nuts.
not eligible is because he didn't play enough games.
Yeah.
It's the only
Let's go to
reason.
one we're going to debate, though.
I know Hunter has an argument for a guy that wasn't even a finalist, but first let's look at the
Crazy.
favorite right now.
Favorite right now, Peyton Pritchard,
Peyton Pritchard.
and also some insider information. He did already win it. The NBA has already announced he's won it, but Hunter, let's give you the argument.
Yeah,
Who
well,
was your
Christian
player?
Brown. I
Okay.
mean, it was Christian Brown for the Nuggets. I mean, this guy has definitely developed. I don't know. I think Peyton Pritchard, the only reason he got is he's just a guy that chucks up threes, averages 14s on one of the best teams. I just think if the Nuggets were a little better, I think it would have been more recognized.
Yeah.
But it was weird between him and Russ because he started this year, sort of, but it was like him and Russ. So he was kind of a sixth man, but also
Exactly.
not at
That
the same
argument
time.
is huge, too, because they did change the rotation so many times.
Yeah.
And every week it felt like someone was crapping on the fact that Russ was starting, and they were crapping on the fact that Braun was starting.
Yeah,
So it was like
exactly.
a lose-lose. I like this pick. I don't hate it.
And the thing with Pritchard is the Celtics were up 50 in so many games
Yeah.
that he got more minutes than a guy
Yeah.
like Braun would.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
they were up so much, they just put him in the bench, and Pritchard's part of the bench.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's a big part of it and part of the stats. But
The only argument I can give is there was a few games that I felt like the offense for the Celtics was stagnant, and then he came in and even just throwing up crazy shots and making them just makes the team get more momentum, just get more flow to him. So I will say he's been that spark plug. He's the definition of what you need in a sixth man. So I get the argument.
Yeah.
It's sad that Christian Brown wasn't nominated. He at least
Yeah,
should have been
like, come
nominated, in
on.
my opinion, for
Yeah.
sure. But now where I have some issues was this most improved player of the year. I think the favorite right now is Dyson Daniels. But for me, it has to be Ivica Zubac. Going from, it was 11.7 points, going straight up to 16.8. And this is at the center. And he's shooting 60% both years. He went from 9.2 rebounds to 12.6. Just a great shift of a year, but also the defensive shift.
Yeah.
He's been an anchor. If you look at the regular season stats when he played against Jokic, specifically Jokic, who's in my opinion the MVP, but we'll talk about that in a second. Zubac played so well against Jokic. That's where it's, for me, as an impact player, it had to be Zubac.
no, and Zubac, he's the most underrated 7-1 player in the
I
league.
agree,
I mean,
yeah.
people don't understand that when he's at the rim, it's almost an automatic
It
move
is.
for-
Yeah.
He's a block.
And he's got
on
these
defense.
floats, these sky hooks. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, he was hitting everything.
He
on
was
the
working
Nuggets.
Jokic in those first two games.
Yeah.
He's got the
Giving
whole
him a hard
bag.
time.
But are you guys also picking Zubac, or who are you going? Because Dyson Daniels is the favorite right now in all the betting sites.
I'd probably go with Dyson
Okay.
just because of how much he's improved from
Yeah,
last year.
for sure.
I mean, nobody knew who Dyson
Literally
Daniels
no
was.
one.
Literally
Yeah.
no one. I mean, some people knew Zubac, but nobody
And even
knew
when he
who
was
Dyson
in New Orleans, before he got traded, people still didn't know him. It was really when he got to Atlanta that people were like, oh my God, this guy's really good. And they put him in that 7-steal game, and that was what really put him on the map.
He's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
For the-
agree with AJ here.
Sorry about that, Hunter.
No, you're good.
And for the biggest award of them all, we have the MVP. First, let's take a look at SGA, the current betting favorite.
Yeah. He is. He's the favorite. I mean, for good reason. He's averaging 32 points. Obviously, insane stats. He's on the #1 team. It's hard to not say SGA from all the things that MVP has stood for, at least since the NBA has been created. It looks like it has to be SGA, but I know we all have arguments.
Yeah, I think people also believe in just voter fatigue.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody in the NBA is like, yeah, it's just voter fatigue at this point because Jokic is putting up one of the best years.
Right.
And like we're saying, we're looking at it like he puts up 60-point triple-double and they lose.
Yeah.
SGA puts up 15 against Memphis and they win by 50.
Right.
It's
So
just like...
But I do understand the SGA argument because
I
you
do
could
too.
say that he should have got it last year too. It's just the fact that he's been against Jokic in his prime. Like, honestly, I would say that Embiid one was more voter fatigue and stolen from Jokic than this one would be if Shea won it because Shea's the 1 seed. Like, he's proven that his team is the best with him on the court. Whereas Embiid that year, like, he was good, but he was just averaging a lot of points. And that's where I think I would have rather had them give that one to Jokic and then give this one to Shea.
Yeah.
No, I think you almost convinced me pre-show because if you're really going by the definition of most valuable player, it really is Jokic because of how deep the Thunder are and how much Jokic is important to them. But still got to go with SGA.
No,
Yeah.
it's a team that won 68 games.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's definitely underrated.
But, so you're saying your pick is SGA?
My pick is SGA, but it's close. It's really, really close.
Okay.
I think most people here at CSU would agree the guy who should be winning the MVP is Nikola Jokic.
That's kind of my thought right now. I know they are a lower seed. I understand the 1 seed matters, but it hasn't mattered in certain years when guys put up crazy stats. Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double and won MVP as a 6th seed. So if we're using the same logic that we've always went by, I'm first of all using the logic that if you take off Jokic, the Nuggets are a much worse team than if you take Shea off the Thunder. And I'm also using the logic that it's a center averaging a triple-double. That does not make sense. That does not compute. Averaging 10 assists as a center has never been done, probably won't be done. I just can't see how you choose against Jokic. I get it, the voter fatigue, I get it. It's going to be so sad if he doesn't win it.
This is a guy that did 30, 20, and 20 this year.
Yeah.
Did a 60-point triple-double. I mean,
Yeah.
like you say, if you take him off the Nuggets, I mean, the Nuggets probably win 30, 40 games. And
Right.
they're a 50-win team.
They're not making the playoffs. Whereas the Thunder, you've seen the games where Shea goes out or they just take him out early, and the Thunder looked fine. So that's where my argument at least is.
They're so deep.
I do think that same argument, though, would mean LeBron James should have a couple
Exactly.
more MVPs.
I love that argument because I agree. LeBron should have way more MVPs.
Yeah, he should have a couple more if Jokic should.
Yeah, so voter fatigue is just frustrating.
Yeah.
But it's all right. I think we could keep debating these two players because they're so great.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we are going to go to a break. Let's stick around a little longer for some NFL draft talk.
After 2 years?
You're gonna be kidding me! Okay. No,
Robbie.
seriously, do you have anything you can use against the dragon? I can do fireball. That'll do a lot of damage. Yeah, to all of us. We're in a 4-foot group. I'm sorry. What else do you want me to do? Okay.
Hold on. All right, wizard. What do you do? Wizard. I don't think I'm into this kind of stuff fully. I can't do it. Hey, I think I'm pretty anxious. I'm just.
Yeah. No, we can pause this.
We can take a break. Let me go get some water. Yeah.
Grab some snacks. Yes, we're good.
Welcome back from the break, and now that it is officially draft week, we are here to give an updated look at some of the top prospects, starting with our very own Torrey Horton. Where do you guys think Torrey's going to go in this draft?
Yeah, obviously Torrey is like a day 2 or day 3 guy, probably 4th or 5th round, but I just saw he posted on Instagram he visited with the Packers. I would love to see him land in Green Bay. Green Bay loves to not draft guys in the 1st round, especially offensive positions. So I could see him landing in Green Bay, but definitely like a 4th or 5th round guy.
Yeah.
My landing spot for him is Pittsburgh. I
Okay.
mean, they're so good at developing
Yeah.
receivers, and they're so good at taking receivers.
Right.
I think he could be good in the NFL, and I really hope they could develop him. I think they could.
I agree he could be good in the NFL, but I also agree with what you said before we got back on air, is that it's Mountain West. It's hard for teams to look at the Mountain West and the competition they play and say this receiver's on the same level as this guy at a power conference school. So I understand that, but Torrey just dominated. He looked like the best player on the field every time he was on the field, so that's where it's like, you watch his highlights, this is the guy you're drafting if you're watching that game.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are going to overlook him just because of his injury last year.
for
So
sure.
everybody's going to be like,
But you gotta look at that last
You
season.
kind of have to go back to like 2 or 3 years ago
Yeah.
to see kind of the impact
Right.
because of the injury history. But if you go back, then you see he is the most talented.
Exactly,
player on the
and it's unfortunate that he had to, not that had to, he stayed at CSU. We all love that. We would have loved him to go to a power conference school and be projected a top 1-round pick, though, because I think he would have if he went to a power conference school.
The talent's there.
Yeah, for sure.
all right, let's go to our rival here, Shador.
Yeah.
Where do you guys see Shador?
We got to talk about him.
Yeah.
I've seen him dropping out of the top 10, which he's been projected in for a while. Obviously, a great quarterback. We can't deny that. He obviously produced a Heisman winner in Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
But this is a guy that's pretty good at football. I can't see him going in the top 10 and being happy about it. So that's where I like his 15 to 20 range. I saw the Steelers as one of the teams.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he'd fall. I really don't think he'd fall out of the top 20.
Not falling.
I mean, I think a team like the Browns or the Giants or even, who knows, the Raiders or Saints.
Yeah.
I think if he was falling that far, they'd trade up and get him. I don't think they'd let him fall to 21
Okay.
of the Steelers. But, you know, he was out there saying he loves Mike Tomlin. He loves
Right,
the Steelers.
right.
So, I don't know. It'd be a good fit for him. I just don't think he'll fall that far.
Yeah. I think if he falls out of the top 10, someone will trade up immediately to
Agreed.
number 11.
Agreed.
I mean, but it's crazy. This guy was projected at number 1.
He was.
At the end of the year. He was definitely going to be top 5. It's crazy
I
to
don't
see
know.
him drop. I don't know what has really happened to his draft stock. I know he's had
Yeah.
like one pro day at CU.
That's what I'm going to say. Do you think it's because of him, or do you think just other people are rising and just kind of surpassing him in terms of a value player to choose?
I think it's that, and all the like trash teams that are at the top are just getting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all just like going with free agents. So I think that's
So
part of
in,
it as well.
in terms of quarterbacks, though, where would you go? Would you go Cam Ward, Shador? Where are you going after Cam Ward? Because
Cam Ward, Shador.
I'm thinking Cam Ward's 1.
I think Dart I actually think Milroe's closer
Milroe.
to 3. I think he's close to 3.
Okay.
I would definitely take Shador over both Dart and Milroe.
Gotcha.
But I think Milroe's close to number 3.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind it. I think Shador will definitely go top 20. I think he might fall out top 10, but you're right. I think he'll go within those first 11, 12, or 13.
Moving on to his teammate, we got Travis Hunter,
Yep,
who
have to
I
talk
thought
about
my
him.
Giants were going to be able to take at 3, but suddenly the Browns are going to take him at 2.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's looking like he's going to go to the
I
Browns.
know. I keep seeing these fake confirmed reports that are like, these teams promised that they're going to draft this guy. I don't know. I want to see Hunter just go to a team where he can thrive. I don't really agree with his comment, though, where he said if he can't play both ways, then he's not going to play. I don't see how you can translate into the NFL playing against these NFL players and be able to still play both those positions.
I think that's just him speaking out.
Yeah,
Too.
agreed.
Like that's just his
Agreed.
ego a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, he's going to be happy to be in the NFL no matter what he's doing. But he's definitely, I think, going to Cleveland.
And I think even if he plays 40% of offensive snaps, he's still going to be
Throw
so
him on a
effective.
reverse.
Yeah.
I mean, if he really wants it.
I agree. I think he's a better receiver than DB. I don't think anyone really debates that. So in my mind, I think he just convert to receiver and just kind of stick with that. Maybe a few special plays you can throw him out there for a defensive coverage, but I don't think he should be full-time, at least, playing both sides.
Not yet.
Definitely not.
Definitely
All right,
not
let's
his
go
rookie
to
year.
someone in the Mountain West. Genty, who's now making these top 10 mock drafts everywhere. I saw him going to the Raiders at 6 at the earliest that I've seen. I know you saw him at 5 to the Jags.
Yeah, I saw him at 5 to the Jags, and I think he'd be a good fit for the Patriots at 4. So I don't know. I think top 5 is really in the picture. For
Hunter, what do you think?
No, it's crazy. It's like him and Shador have kind of switched.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see him going top 5. I see him going to the Jags.
I think
as well.
teams, honestly, Saquon helped it a lot. I think they saw Saquon was like that piece that was missing
Yes.
for the Eagles, and now they won a game.
It's a good point, yeah.
But unfortunately, that's all we got for you tonight, Rams. But before you go, we wanted to give you a reminder that it is CTV Giveaway Week, which means if you scan this QR code or click the link in our show description or Instagram bio to donate as little as $1, you will be entered in the chance to win a gift card to one of Fort Collins' local businesses. But make sure you choose CTV under the section titled Wish to Designate This Gift To. This will ensure that we can count your name in the giveaway. CTV and all of the larger Rocky Mountain Student Media Company is a student-run nonprofit, so we really rely on that community to keep us going. But with that, we're done. I promise we're actually done this time. But make sure to keep tuning into CTV all week for more shows and a special live on-air Olympics this Friday, hosted by your favorite crew, the Sports Crew.
Let's go.
Have a great rest of your night, and we will see you then.